Now, I want to just go to Revelation because we're seeing all these different symbols, right? And signs in the heavens. But I know in Revelation chapter 6, it specifically talks about some of these signs that we're supposed to look for. And we need to identify if these things have happened, when they're coming, and things like this. So let's go to Revelation 6, verse 12 to 14. And it says, "And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind." So we have three events spoken of here, and have these events taken place already?
Mackenzie, they have taken place. Now they're sort of all lined up together here, but we will see that that between each one of the events, there's a span of time. And so it starts out here with an earthquake, lo, a great earthquake. Now, it's called the 1755 Lisbon Earthquake, but it encompassed more than Lisbon. This is, of course, Lisbon, Portugal. This earthquake was believed to have been felt in an area of landmass the size of 5 million square miles.
Wow.
So even by today's, it's probably would be the largest earthquake that humans have ever seen.
Wow. This is, and like you said, this is incredible that we have these events and in their order sequentially happening just as Revelation said they would.
That's correct.
So
Where does Revelation 6 say anything about the Lisbon earthquake of 1755? This is what I mean by plug and play theology. They have to find something to plug in and say, this was fulfilled. And we're supposed to just buy that and say, well, by golly, it has. I mean,
come on, man.
But no. Had they paid more careful attention in Luke 21, they would have seen that Jesus mentioned all of these things, including the fig tree. He mentioned earthquakes in Luke 21:11, the sun, moon, and the stars in Luke 21:25, and the fig tree that they ignored and didn't highlight in Luke 21:29 through 32. And this is why ignoring the historicity of Revelation and reading it anachronistically, like the SDA church does, is such a mess. John would have had Luke 21 and Matthew 24 on his mind when writing the apocalypse. It parallels exactly what Jesus foretold, that Jesus would return in judgment on covenant-breaking Israel, which also served and functioned as a picture of the breaking down of the barrier wall between Jew and Gentiles. Jesus tells us what the fig tree represented all throughout his ministry. The cursing of the fig tree being seen in Matthew 21:18 through 22 and Mark 11:12 through 14. The fig tree often being used as a symbol of Israel. It was in season, but the fig tree had no fruit, which is why Jesus pronounced a judgment on it. This is who John has in mind as the backdrop for his primary audience in the Revelation. No, it doesn't mean Revelation has no application to today, because that's typically what SDAs will jump to. So you're saying Revelation has no No, I'm not saying that. I'm not a hyper-preterist. Hyper-preterists are heretics. If you're a hyper-preterist and you're here, no, I'm not supporting you. They like to comment on our videos sometimes because I have Sam Frost on periodically, who's a former hyper-preterist. But no, you're a heretic. But the parallel imagery found in the Revelation fit perfectly with Jesus' own warnings and pictures from his Sermon on the Mount and indicate this is what John has in focus. Covenant-breaking Israel being judged. The signs in the sun, moon, and the stars have to do with the same language that's found in the Old Testament, which had to do with the pronouncement of woes and judgment language on covenant-breaking Israel. To arbitrarily pour in an earthquake in Lisbon from 1755 is not sound. Yet they'll tell us, Mackenzie said, it's just obviously what the text is talking about because it's the largest earthquake ever seen. So that must mean that's what's in focus in Revelation 6? What? We have yet to hear how April 8 has anything to do with this. This video was urgent. That was in the title, urgent. Yet it's just a rehashing of SDA talking points and claims regarding fulfilled prophecies.